Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we ended up in a war against Scandinavia here, and that's fine actually. We're on our way over, and once we arrive we should be able to get this pretty under control down to hopefully one front over here. This front over here is slightly more concerning to me actually right now. And I want to go through and make sure that we are digging in on this front line. I want to make absolutely certain that we have at least a decent fallback line, ideally of about 2 depth. So something about like this, approximately. But this is going to be a lot tougher for them to push through, and that's understood. For the moment, I don't care about these, so let's get these guys moved right on down. And let's make sure that we are, in fact, working on all of our land forts. Okay, so that looks good for now. We can afford to give up a lot of land over on this front if we end up having to as we shift. But this front, we can only afford to give up so much. So for now, that's fine. These Marines do not need to be planning this, and I'm thinking about using them to just bulk up this front for now. So that'll be okay for now, and we've got a lot of forces on the way over here, but that looks okay. So the real question now is, how are we going to do out on this front? We have a lot of forces arrived at this moment, and we're apparently just abandoning this spot for right now, but that's understood. I want these guys to start pushing in over this way. So that is this armored division over here. I want them to, yes, like that. I want them to start pushing like this. Okay, so this front is looking somewhat static right now. Honestly, a static front over here is a good thing for us. But we're pushing them back over this way, which looks good. Out over here, this is a lot dicier at this moment. I want to grab at least these 2 infantry divisions and get them moved over, because we're going to need more over here. I'm actually thinking I'm going to grab 2 additional. Okay, so we'll do something like that for right now, and we're seeing that they're definitely trying to do some pushing out over this way, but it'll take us time to get situated here and start pushing them back. For now, this looks okay-ish. This is less okay over this direction. So to that end, I'm going to immediately begin construction through this little area over here. I'm going to immediately begin construction of some land forts to just make sure that we hold these areas. So something about like that for the time being. And we could even do the same thing over here if we really felt like it was necessary. I kind of don't, but this does give us a strong point to strike from. And then down over here, we can start doing the same thing as well. So this is a lot of construction. Don't get me wrong. We don't need this for now. This is a lot of construction, don't get me wrong, and it's going to take some time to get that all completed. That's understood. We'll get going on it, and we'll see what it ends up looking like, because we've got these borders moving still, but we have our forces on the way in, and we'll be mostly arrived shortly. Now, the next thing that I want to think about is anti-air up in this area. It's actually okay, as it is. And down over here, we could start building some anti-air. This is a lower priority, so I'm putting this at the bottom of the queue for right now. Okay, so that looks fine for now, and we'll just continue to work on holding over on this side. Do we have any tank units that are on their way over here? We have these tank units. Okay. That's certainly not ideal, but we have some at least. Okay. So we're just going to hang out here on this front for the moment. That seems fine. Out over this direction, we need more forces on the way over here, and I'm thinking that we probably want to build land forts here, just in case. I'm wondering, do we have anybody coming over here? Yes, but this guy is currently stuck in this combat. Okay. They'll get there eventually. They'll get there eventually. So that seems fine for now. We've actually pushed this back a little bit over here, and these guys, they're in a pretty precarious spot over here, actually. If we were able to cut them off right here, which we're pretty low on supply up in this area. But if we were able to cut them off right there, that would be really nice. I do want to begin working on a supply hub right about here. It's going to be a long time before that's ready to go. So let's link this in over this direction and make sure that this is connected into our main hub. Something like... Where's this going to connect in? Over here? Yeah, there we go. That'll do. So that seems fine. And then we've got this stuff out over here, right? And this can get motorized up to help with this over here. But these hubs over this direction, they're going to need some work. So we definitely need to upgrade our rail like that, for sure. So we'll get all of that underway. We were not expecting this war. That's definitely the case. But I think we've got this under control as of right now. Okay. So this front feels relatively static. This front out over here is a little dicier, but they are extending in a kind of risky manner. So this push in here is good for us. And I'm actually kind of content with letting them push out over this way. I think that's not a bad thing, all things considered. Out over here, supply is definitely the major concern. I'd like this tank unit to attack right here. That's not going to work, but I'd like it to. That'd be the dream if it worked. But sadly, it did not. So that's understood. We are definitely pushing up over here, and these guys aren't coming with due to lack of supply. But we've got these guys pocketed at this moment, and that's looking very good. So we'll get that taken over, and these will now be redirected to other fronts over here. Whether that's this front or this front, it doesn't really matter. Either way, we're happy about this current situation. So that's looking good. I do really want to cut this off over here. Our main problem remains lack of supply right here. So with that in mind, it's going to remain that way. I was hoping that they would have something up over this direction that we could capture, but no. This is just going to remain rough in terms of the supply. So what we really need to be thinking about then is this over here. Now, these guys are trying to push us back over here a little bit, and it would appear they're succeeding for right now. But I'm actually not that concerned about this. I want them to stretch this front. If we can combine together the front over here, that's probably even better for us, actually. This unit getting pocketed is bad. That's certainly not ideal. And there's not really anything we can do about that right now. So for the moment, this is fine, but we are going to need to probably pull this army out over here. And I'm going to pull this army over to here, like this. So we'll get them over, and we'll help to reinforce this area. This unit, it's gone. Nothing we can do about that. But we'll have these guys come in here. Yeah, we're going to lose this area. That's fine. Again, with them pushing like this is actually a really good thing. Because if we can push in right here, and we can take this, they're all cut off. That's huge for us. So we actually already did take this, it looks like. Our generals might be thinking along the same lines as me here. So that looks good. We're going to push in there, and just come right on in here. Yeah, this looks pretty free. Ish. Free-ish. Get in here. Okay. The generals really want to take this as well. I strongly agree. I really want to take this. We have nothing here. Why do we have nothing up over here? Guys, why are we doing this? Can we not leave this completely unprotected? That would be the dream. Get up here. We need forces up this way. Because this being completely unprotected is bad. I have no idea why our generals have decided to do this. But, okay. I want these guys to move over into here. We're going to abandon this line as of right now. So get over there. That'll be fine. And the real question here is, how long will it be before reinforcements start to come up here? I have no idea how far away they actually are. But you can see they're trying to take over this position right here, which will get these guys encircled. Which means we have to pull back. But it didn't work because we were attacked. So this is bad, and we need to attack right up. Come on. We're being attacked here too. Oh, come on. Any moment now. There we go. Link this back up if we can. Assist this attack. Any moment now we'll get there. There we go. Okay. Well, we got immediately pushed out of there. But there. Now we held it. Okay, cool. So again, this looks bad, but it actually isn't. So what I want to do here right now is I'm going to leave this as it is. These guys are still on their way in for now. I'm not going to make any major changes there. We're still working on pushing up this direction, and I want these guys to push out here, but unfortunately for us, supplies are just crappy in this area. There's nothing we can do about that right now. We're working on it. We'd love to get this up, or rather get this built, but supplies are just terrible here right now. And up this direction, they are fairly terrible as well. We do have this naval base here, but I'm going to go ahead and start building a supply hub here. And we'll get that connected in, and we need to make sure that this is connected up to some sort of a main trunk. So it would be about like that. That would connect us up. Well, if we did that. Okay. So we'll get that underway for now, but our main focus needs to be right up over here. Unfortunately, our redeploy is so crappy over this way, it's going to be a bit of a problem. We need to change our front line here to be... that's actually fine. We need to change this front line here to be back over this way, and we can't? Any particular reason we can't change these front lines? There we go. Yeah, you come back over there, and then this front line needs to come back over here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we're working on holding this position, but we need our reinforcements to get in up over here. You can see there's still a lot of redeploy happening over here, and we need to give that some time. What we really want to do is we want to punch in right here. Unfortunately, we're losing this position, but at least we're not going to get stack wiped there now. But we just have no force concentration up here at this moment. Until we do, there's not much we can do about this. So we just have to wait. I really wish our generals hadn't have decided to shift everything over and then shift these guys up. That's very sad. Now I'm going to alter this front line to be right there. There we go. And if they continue to push here, that's actually not a bad thing for us. What we want to do right now is continue to have their lines stretch, and we want to take this position desperately. And I'm going to work on that. Apparently, we are very bad at taking this position, but okay. There we go. So we managed to push into there, and no, we don't. We almost managed to push into there. Why don't you assist? They're reinforcing this a little bit. I'm going to check in up over here. Yeah, this line is pretty static. Checking in Iberia. This is continuing to get kind of bad over this way. I'm going to queue these up at the front of the queue here, and I want to have that happening. So we'll just make sure that we're digging in over here, and our lines are very thin over here right now. Very thin. They're not so thin over here, and I'm wondering why we have, like, no one over here. Why do we have literally no one here? Like, can we not? No one's moving either. Why are we doing this? Guys, what are we doing? Like, why are we just letting them take this? Can we not? That would be the dream, if we could not just let them take things. So up over this way, we're checking in up here, and it looks like we're moving in on this side. Okay, that looks good. Now the dream is that we take right here, and I want to fortify this position. I'm going to move in with the tank unit as well. Okay. We got it. We just got this. So, I'm going to do that. And these guys, they just got cut off on the mainland. They do have these couple of naval bases out over here for supply. That's not very significant. So what we need to do now is I'm going to drag this front line down to here. And I'm going to tell these guys that they are going to start offensive lining with their goal being to take all 3 of these naval bases. These are the only ways for these guys down here to get supply, assuming we can hold these positions. So we're going to go in up over here. That's absolutely something we want to start pressing on. But one thing I'm concerned about is the number of troops that might be up here. Okay, it's just 4. Noted. So for right now, that seems fine. My next question is, how far are we from this being built? Oh, that's a long ways. Okay. That is a very long ways away. Noted. That's certainly not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. So for now, that seems fine. I'm still very concerned about what we've got going on down over here. Our generals are just not doing a very good job of defending these areas. If we get pushed out of Iberia, again, that's not the worst situation in the world, especially now that we've got this rather enormous encirclement here. So that's absolutely phenomenal, assuming that we're not immediately abandoning it, but we're actually pushing up this way right now, which is interesting. But we're also immediately abandoning this area. We have no troops here, and all of our forces are just leaving. Can we not do that, please? Like, let's attack here. Seriously. We need to build up a bit more of a buffer here. We need to at least buy some time for our troops to get in over here. Please, don't go up there right now. Okay, where are you going? You're just going here. That seems fine. So hopefully we've got the time there now, and these guys are going to start pushing in over here. Now, I want to pull a tank unit from over this direction, and it's going to be this army. And we're going to have this tank unit come over here. They're going to frontline over this direction, but by no means are they going to be stretched over this entire area. I want them to be just in this area. Then we're going to have them offensive line also over to here, with the goal being cut off all of their supplies. So we're going to get that tank unit in there, and that'll be fine. And as of right now, this is okay. I don't really mind what we've got going on here. We just need to hold this position, and that is of vital importance. We're about to take Viipuri, which is kind of big. And I'm going to have this guy hop down over here, too. Okay. We have no divisions assigned to this. What army was this supposed to be? Well, it doesn't really matter. Apparently, these guys just didn't get assigned. That's okay. So what I really want is these guys. No, that's Army 4. This army. There we go. Get down there. So we want to get this cleaned up, and that will be of a pretty high importance. The question is, have we managed to get forces down over here yet? And the answer is surprisingly no. We still have almost no one down here for some inexplicable reason. I don't know what that reason might be. Presumably there's a reason, but I definitely don't know what that might be. I'm going to grab our Marines here, and our Marines are these guys, and we're going to offensive line up over here. The Marines are going to start getting aggressive now. Okay, so we're going to try attacking a little bit here, but this is not our primary focus right now. Our primary focus is absolutely on getting this area under control. And now that our tanks have arrived at this front, you can see we're starting to push this in, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to open up this gap, and we want to push in very, very heavily here. We're about to cut off these guys as well, and to that end, I would love to come up over here and take this. Looks like we've got it. So I think this area is now cut off officially. In which case, we should just start coming in here. So they're cut off of supplies at this moment. These guys are nearly cut off of supplies. Why is there no one assigned to this? Where are you going? Everyone has decided they want to be up here now. Literally all of our forces have decided this. Okay, I'm going to assign all of our forces here. And then I'm going to grab only a few units. I'm going to grab 5. They should be here. Now, the rest of these are part of what unit? That's the tank army here. You're supposed to be here. And you're also supposed to offensive line up over this way. Apparently they forgot about that. And I'm not going to have any tanks assigned up over here for now. Okay. So we're kind of withdrawing from this area, which is not ideal, but I'm actually going to make sure that this guy stays up here. Okay. So that's fine. It looks like they actually do still have a connection here. That's okay. I don't mind that. So we're going to continue to push our way in over here. And with all of these tanks starting to push as well, that should be fine. Assuming that we didn't... we did kind of mess up our lines here. Okay. Well, let's see how things are going over here, shall we? It's okay. It's actually okay now. So that's good. I want to make sure that we have some land forts out over this direction. I want it to be extraordinarily hard for them to push through this. So we'll get all of that land forted up. That looks okay for now. Cool. So these guys over here, they are still having significant problems, and our tanks that are focused up in the north here, they are pushing in rather rapidly. And we're actually getting close to pinching off this direction as well, which is really big, actually. Come on in over here and see about attacking this. Okay. Well, it didn't happen, but that's okay. So we're going to continue to push through over here, and we have enough forces up here that we should be able to hold this. I'm going to make sure that we're dug in up over this direction, ideally. Okay. So we should have enough here to be able to hold that for now. All we need to do is hold there. That'll be good. We do need to push over this direction, and that's exactly what's happening here. They are unable to hold this for the moment, and that looks good. I would love to get this pinched off, and to that end, actually, I'm thinking about how we might go about doing that. At the moment, it doesn't look super achievable, but we'll get there soon, I think. Up over here, you can see they're losing heavily in the north, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want them to be pushed out hard of these areas. We do not want them to have access to any of these supplies, and they're about to lose access to all of them. This is now encircled down over here, and that completely broke our armies. Okay, these guys, they are supposed to not be here. I want to select everything except these 5. They're supposed to be down here, and that didn't work. They're supposed to be down here. That still didn't work. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Apparently we can't assign them correctly. Cool. Well, for now, we'll just get these pockets finished up, and we'll see what happens with that. So those pockets are done. This pocket is going to be completed soon. We've got 5 divisions that are here. I want to delete this. I want to delete it. No, I want to delete it. There we go. Okay, so we do have this here. The tanks, 8 of these tanks are assigned here. That's not enough. And that's understood. We've only got 19 divisions here. This is a giant mess right now, and I have no idea where everything is supposed to be. But let's get this all cleaned up, and hopefully that'll get handled very soon here. So these guys are coming in over here. That looks good. They are losing all of their access to supplies. I want to make sure that this is 1 division here. Okay, this has just appeared here. Everyone that's over here, get in here. Just start attacking. Push them back. They have no supplies, remember. And they've been cut now into multiple groups. So that's looking good. I want these guys to forget about this offensive line. And I want them to instead offensive line like this. Okay, get in there. And apparently we've forgotten about this area up over here. Let's have these guys come up here and front line, and we'll have them offensive line here. It might be a little difficult for them to make their way across, but that'll be okay for now. Okay. So I think we've got that under control now. At long last. What about down here? Well, this is still a little bit rough over this way. We will see how that ends up going. But once again, we are just abandoning this area and just letting them cut us in half for some inexplicable reason. I don't know why our generals are so insistent on letting them just cut us in half here. That's wild to me. I'm not sure that we have the ability to stop this at this point. We need to take 7. That has to happen. But I'm not sure we can. We'll see what we can get done over there, but out over this direction, this is all cleaning up nicely. So that's good. We're going to be able to redeploy a lot of these units, and we're going to need them. So we're probably going to get bisected here. Yeah, exactly. I don't think there was any way we could have stopped that, to be honest. It's insane that our generals were just so intent on just moving everyone out of this area. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it's very silly of them. What we can do now is we can have this get stack wiped. Perfect. And I'm going to grab this army. I'm going to remove all orders from this army, and we're going to have them come down over here. They're going to be a focused tank unit, and they're going to offensive line like that. It'll take them a while to get there, to be sure. We've got these infantry divisions. I'm going to move them over as well. Okay, so that seems relatively fine. We've got this unit over here, and we're trying to attack over here. That's fine for the moment. And we're working on pushing in over this direction. Now, these guys apparently do not have orders, or some of them don't. They should all be over on this line. Okay. So these guys, they are currently attacking here, and these guys are also coming in. Let's just have all of these come in and attack for the moment. Our justification of conquering Bornu has finished. Okay. In we go. So that's absolutely fine. We'll have these guys come in here. We'll have these guys come in here. This war is already over. Cool. So they joined the Middle Eastern Confederation, to absolutely no one's surprise, and we're just going to continue to attack out over this direction. This is going to be a very difficult attack for us, and a lot of these forces, these guys are going to want to be moving over here, right? So we would really like to get this wrapped up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of these units, like 8 is probably sufficient. We'll put them right up over here, with the idea being to offensive line in like that. Okay. So those guys are going to make their way up, and that looks fine. Mali has capitulated. No surprises there. And now this force that's down over here, this army can be redeployed. If I can select all of this. There we go. This army can be redeployed to be up over here for right now. Okay. So Navarra continues to be a bit of a problem for us. We've not managed to take this yet, apparently. We'll get there eventually. There we go. So now these guys don't have orders either, and they are going to come over here. Well, this is obnoxious. Can you guys embark here, please? No, I want you to go by sea. Okay, whatever. They do have a naval base there, so I guess we'll just dig them in, but it's definitely not ideal. This whole Navarra situation has not been ideal at all, but that's understood. So I want to move in over this way, and we're going to need to attack over here quite a lot, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we are going to get this area wiped out, and that's a big change in the balance of power, no doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.